Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am currently on a weight loss journey and going through kind of a plan for bariatric surgery. So this is kind of like my first, maybe not the first, I'm sure I've talked about it before, but like this is my first kind of series installment for this on just like my weight loss journey, health journey, etc. So bringing back that body and mind, but with a lot more detail than before because I have plans in place and other things going on. So I finally had kind of like my onboarding appointment. It was basically a bunch of info dumping about what to expect and planning for life after bariatric surgery, even though I am required by my insurance to do like a 6-month weight loss plan first. So that's basically what I've started in. It was a long first appointment. Like I said before, it's an info dump, so there was a lot of things that I had to do, but I have a lot of notes and things that I took while I was there just to go over. So it was kind of like a 3-part doctor's appointment, and the first part they get like your official weight and everything. So I went in and they weighed me and they did like the BMI. So you do like this in-body test, which basically breaks you down into a bunch of different percentages. So I am currently 440 pounds, so that's my starting weight. I kind of like that it's just a nice even number, easy to track. So then I got my BMI and everything. It was kind of weird that this, like, just how this breaks you down. Like, it weighs you down to how much your left arm weighs, to how much your right arm weighs, and legs, etc. Basically, the biggest takeaway from this is just, like, knowing where I'm at and where they would like me to be. So, like, the first part of the appointment was doing this, and I was kind of lucky because I had already done like lab work and stuff with my primary care physician, so I was able to bring in all of that information and bring in my health history and other stuff. A lot of that onboarding process is just them getting all of your information. So I had stuff where it's like, oh, this is what I've been eating, this is how I usually eat. You kind of do like a little bit of like your habits, you do a little bit of, you have to you report your medicines that you're taking, you bring in like your last tests or other things that you've done, all that kind of stuff. So I am diabetic, so I do have medical history and other stuff like that. Where I brought in all my medicines. I had just done blood work recently. Luckily for me, all of my blood work stuff has been going, like my the A1C, etc., has been getting lower and lower, so I'm not as much of a risk. So I'm already knowing that I'm on the right track, and this is just going to keep me on track for the long term, honestly, because for me, my relationship with food is still something that I'm figuring out, and this is what this process is for, and just like relearning how to handle food and keep up this good work so far. They did offer to start me on like a weight loss medication while I was there, and it works similarly to how my diabetic medication already works, where it's just kind of, it makes you feel fuller for longer, etc., etc. I'm not against trying it, but my insurance doesn't seem to cover it. When they were talking about it to me and going over it with me, it's also one that you inject. I've never had one I injected before, but it comes into like a ready loaded pen, so it was really easy and I didn't really feel anything. But my insurance doesn't seem to cover it. It does come with like a coupon, etc. They're in the business of selling medicines. It has a coupon that made it like something like $25 a month, but since my insurance doesn't cover it, without my insurance, it is like over $1,000 a month, and there's actually a loophole kind of scenario in the coupon where it does that based on how much your insurance covers. So since my insurance doesn't cover anything with the coupon, it only brought it down to like $600, which I cannot afford. That's not happening. So I'm just gonna go over it. I need to contact like my insurance and see if it's something that they make exceptions for, if there is, I don't know, a knockoff version of that. If there is, there is. If there's not, I'm just not going to take the medicine. That's fine. So other than that, after I kind of went over all of that, you go into your second part of it, which is the physical, like the physician assistant basically comes in and goes over like the physical aspect of things that you'll be doing, and just like what this plan means, and going over the percentages from your in-body scan that you did. So she broke down all the percentages, what they meant, what kind of like the benchmark ideas are. She let me know that for her, she tends to focus more on the percentage of body fat versus just like the BMI. Because she's like, BMI, you know, it's just detecting a pound is a pound to a BMI, but percentage of body fat will affect you a lot more differently. So that's what she tends to focus a little bit more on. And she said that the typical number for women that they're usually looking for is less than 32% for females. So she said basically the closer to that, the better. It's not everything, but obviously the closer to that is the better. In her medical professional opinion. And basically over this next 6 months, is any weight that we get off, the better, is kind of the plan. My insurance requires me to do 6 months of a weight loss plan for everything to be covered, so I've already started that. Basically I'm in for kind of like a set time for the next few months until we get through this. And they overall, like the appointment total, you know, they were good about stressing that it's up to me. I, you know, just make some of the, like, you know, just I make all the decisions really. And they're there to help guide, there to answer questions, there to make sure that I'm doing okay, that I'm getting nutrients, etc., that I need to be successful, and finding the best route to make the process as least miserable as possible is basically the way she said it, which I know at the end of the day there's going to be misery there, because I am just relearning so many things, and there's just so much to do. And I don't know, I've been doing a lot of research. I've been watching a lot of people who have gone through the process. I don't even know if I said which one I'm in line and doing this process for. I'm going to do the duodenal switch. So maybe I'll put that in the title so that's more obvious. But I am just also on track with trying to make this as least miserable as possible. And I know there'll be some misery there. I know there'll be challenges. I'm sure I will have a breakdown or two along the way. But I'm just, you know, I'm relearning, and that's just part of the process. So this is where I'm at mentally for now. I'm not in the thick of it by any means. This is like day 4 after like this onboarding process began, so I am very fresh at the beginning of it all. I feel like the next part start, like they mentioned, like OptiFast, which they did give me a sample of. There are a few different OptiFast items. OptiFast is basically a meal replacement, medically approved meal replacement program. So they have drinks. So you have, her suggestion was if you go full fast, she said you would do like 5 to 6 drinks in a day. And they don't just have drinks, they also have a soup mix. You can get like the ready to drink cartons. They gave me a ready to drink carton to try it and see what I thought about it. And then they also have like nutrition bars that are available. Every one of these boxes is 7 servings per box. So you think about that in terms of there's 7 servings per box, but I need to drink at least 5 to 6 of them a day if I'm going to do full liquid. I am not. That is not my calling. That's not for me. But I did like some math based on what the cost was. And originally I did my math wrong because I flip-flopped it. I thought they said if you do full fast that you need to drink 4 of these a day. Each of those drinks is only like 160 calories. So that's like a less than 800 calorie day. Hell yeah, you're going to lose weight if you do that. You're at a crazy deficit, but I'm sure that also is alongside you also have a certain amount of vegetables and things that you can eat a day that won't like distract from your OptiFast, because you need to have other things that you're eating too. So if you go the full fast, and I settled on like if you did 5 drinks a day, each of these drink boxes has 7 servings per box, and which means each box is $22.75. So at 5 drinks a day, for the box being $22.75, that means you are spending like about $113 a week, meaning about $455 a month to just do that fast of just liquids and probably like some vegetables, etc. on the side. That's not my calling. So this other one that I actually did more math for is probably a little bit closer to like the next level of that, which is like 4 shakes a day probably, and then like a few low carb meals. So if there's 7 in a box, and it's 7 servings per box for all of these things except for the drinks that are ready made, those are done individually. So 4 boxes a week at $22.75 to do 4 drinks a day is $91 a week and $364 a month. So drink and the soup mixes cost the same. For the individual singles, like if you don't want to worry about mixing powders, then that's a singles set, and it's $375 each. So that's $15 a week, or $465 a month for already mixed stuff. And the bars actually cost a little bit more. They're $25 a box and still only 7 servings per box. So that's $100 a week, $400 a month, somewhere in there. So I was just kind of like weighing options. If I were to do like my first order, I would try to mix it up. So I would probably do like 2 boxes of the drink mix. I would do 1 box of the soup mix, and I would do 1 of the bar boxes as a tester. So for the 2 drink boxes, that's 14 servings, that's 7 servings of soup, and 7 servings for the bars. So that would be $94 for 1 week of meals. So like mixing and matching all of those would be like doing 4 things a day. So 1 week of just doing those, that's $94 to feed yourself on just the OptiFast with those specific combos. I have only tried the chocolate ready drink mix. It is okay. I drink it at work for lunch. I have footage and stuff of that. But it's chalky. It's just like most other like protein type drinks. I don't think it tastes great. It tastes like chocolate. I don't think it tastes bad. I did see a lot of other people who have been on this and similar drinks. There are like OptiFast, recipes out there, because you can put like flavored extracts and stuff in this to vary it up, because you're going to be doing it for a long time. So I've seen people talk about, I did like mint chocolate, or I didn't like, they just put different flavored things together. I felt like the thing that amused me most was how she said she's been at the office for a year and that she's always wanted to go kind of like full fast for like a week to see how it was, and that it never stuck. And obviously the dialogue in my mind is, okay, cool, so we're just selling things that we can't even do. And looking at people and being like, but this is what you should do. I'm like, yes, the medical field. So it is a short-term product for short-term results. That's the point. I am in a place where I need to lose a lot of weight, and obviously losing as much as I can is the goal. I just want to make sure I'm doing it as safely for myself as possible. And, it has what you need. It has, the protein and everything that you need to get through. It's obviously a challenge. It's not meant for super long-term use. So I'd like to work myself into it where if I can pull off a full fast and try that for a little while, then I'll try it. I'll give it a shot. But I prioritize learning how to eat with food that already exists out there. That is my priority, because there will be a time where I am going to be mandated prior to surgery to be in an all liquid diet for time, just to be ready for surgery anyway. So I know I will be headed there. I will challenge myself because I like to and try to see if I can get to a full fast at points, because there's just goals that I would like to hit, but it's not the end all be all of everything. The whole point is to relearn how to have a better relationship with food and with health and everything long term. So after the physician's assistant talked to me, I shifted over into, I saw a nutritionist and basically talked about everything again, but from a nutrition standpoint. And once again, everybody was just like, hey, you're in charge, you can decide how much you want to do. We still give you like a meal plan regardless. So for my meal plan, my carbohydrate maximum is 100 total 100 grams per day, which means I should be targeting less than 20 to 30 grams per meal. And she made points of, depending on what you're eating, just don't save up like those grams of carbs either, because that's when you get the sugar spikes, etc. That is kind of like the easy habit building stuff. I mean, it's not always easy, but it's habit building stuff that you can do over time. And there is behavior modifications that I feel are going to be a very big hurdle for me as I keep going, where it's like, I feel like I always ate fast. I always did like these things like this, and it's like, I really should sip my water more, or sit in a different place when I eat so I'm not mindlessly eating, that kind of stuff. Just important information where it's like, hey, you're going to be taking bariatric vitamin and mineral supplements forever. Like, that is what you are going to be doing forever after you do surgery, because you can't have any vitamin deficiencies, and you're at risk for that after things like weight loss surgery. So knowing that I'm going to be tracking that for the rest of my life, and knowing that caffeine I can avoid, that's not a big problem for me, but it might be a problem for others. Staying away from carbonated beverages after, no alcohol for 6 months after, that kind of stuff. Smokers don't smoke, etc., etc. The basics from that point. So this is all of my packet of everything that I got. So I'm at the beginning. I'm taking you guys along for the ride. This is already a crazy long video. So if you like what I do on this channel, please like, please comment, please subscribe, share it with a friend. I'm going to share my experiences with you as I go. I'm already off to a shaky start, to be honest, but it's getting better. I'm more aware and just trying to keep things in my mind. So I really need to get the workouts back in. I slipped off of that hardcore, but we're gonna work on it. We're gonna work on it. So I will see you guys next time. Bye.